At a cotton collection base, G.U.N. agents are guarding a white hedgehog in reverse. The darkest part of him is not his skin, but his past, which haunts his memories. The guards grow uneasy as someone hacks the system to wake Shadow. The alarms sound and the guards arm themselves and go to the containment room. Nerves and tension fill the air because in a matter of seconds, Shadow wakes up, destroying the tank he was submerged in. Astonished, they watch the hedgehog vanish and teleport, delivering Peruvian justice to all the police, leaving one for him to enjoy. Upon escaping prison, driven by his haunting past, Shadow starts his revenge, Knuckles readies his fists, Tails prepares his tail, and Sonic, thinking they were headed to Bolivia, gets serious. To see who can run the fastest. A friendly race winds through hills, logs, and air. Sonic believes he's ahead, but his friends are at the finish line before him. He realizes they're holograms meant to distract him, since a celebration for his arrival on Earth is waiting when he returns. This was a catalyst for everyone to become family, and now their Project X begins. After so much chaos, Sonic and Tom find the cave where the hedgehog lived alone for years. There's a drawing Sonic made in the place to remember his late mother. He wonders if she'd be proud of him, but Tom believes she would, given all he endured at a young age. He didn't let the pain change his heart. Sonic values Tom, thinking he'd be an edgy hedgehog like Shadow, who learned he was imprisoned for 50 years without him. G.U.N. Agents arrive to subdue him since they ruined his depressive moment. It's time to lash out. The family is roasting a piglet when the bothersome G.U.N. agents interrupt them. As they land, Director Rockwell wants to take them to Tokyo. At first they refuse, but when she mentions they'll get to tackle a black guy, they agree. They arrive in Tokyo via a portal, with Shadow behaving like a Pakistani. They find him using mischievous gadgets and teamwork. They plan to subdue him and jump out before the plane reaches its target. They descend gracefully through the clouds to the ground, where they realize that Shadow has already handed out Masayupi. He throws them a root which the team's strongest member easily stops. From the ashes and smoke appears the hedgehog they're seeking to capture. He warns them to leave or he'll inseminate them. Nakarusu, eager to be first, attacks the Nei. Shadow easily kicks him away, sending him flying. Though impressed by Mem and Pinguin's skills, they believe they can enslave him together. He lifts Sonic up to make him fall hard. The hedgehog can't overcome Shadow's aura, who then leaves on his Italica. Sonic's pride drives him to chase and catch up to him in the city. Offended, the Latino shoots at him, but Sonic dodges between cars. He tries to attack, but Sombras evades and attempts to stomp him. The hedgehog gets as close to him as I do to Grandma's, prompting Shadow to teleport them into the air. With more electricity than Ecuador, he drives up a tower against Sonic, reaches the top of the building. Shadow demonstrates his Uber Eats skills and prepares with Sonic for their aerial collision, in an attack that cuts power to the city. When electricity returns, they find Sonic exhausted and tied to a pole. To learn who the guy from Tepito is and what he did while he was unconscious, they go to Mamita's kids. When they summon Commander Walters, he recalls witnessing a meteorite bringing Shadow 50 years ago. They worked with him to push energy generation beyond known limits, but this power led to a deadly accident. Due to this, the lead scientist was imprisoned and Shadow was cryogenically frozen in a tank. Since the Lord spoke so much, they're treated like Torreon reporters. The commander is hurt since he doesn't trust G.U.N. He gives Sonic the key to an artifact that can destroy Peru, warns him not to let anyone touch it, then faints. The agents arrive, can't find the activation key, and learn the furries were last with the commander, who escaped in disguise and run into Eggman's secretary, who followed them to reveal that the villain is still alive. Watching La Rosa de Guadalupe and imagining their tummy is like Mommy Turbine's little things. The guy gets upset because Rock drew his enemies, but excuses it since someone is stealing his technology, to release minorities and silence frequent customers of Mamita's kids. Upset after being grabbed, he snaps out of his depression and doxes the imposter. They agree to team up with him despite their dislike. Eggman only asks for a sharp one so he can take a hit. After fooling around and shaving his balls, arrive at the imposter's location. Before they arrived, Shadow got there. The place reminds him of the doctor's granddaughter who castrated him when she found him. She wasn't afraid of him, smiled at him, and was the only one who cared to connect. Lab hours with her were fun. They played in the halls, danced, showed off Venezuelan style, and watched alien movies. These made Shadow feel like a threat while being contained, so secretly Maria took him outside, so he could stargaze with her. She explained how their light takes time to reach Earth. A star can shine even though the star itself has died. Maria's light brightened his confinement and past, gave him a family, but now darkness has reached him. The one who freed him finds him so they can avenge Maria together. The Blue Egg team breaks down the gate and upon entering decides to split up. Knuckles goes alone, fearing a ghost encounter. Roca asks Tails about being Sonic's secretary, but Colas explains he's not an employee, just a friend. However, Roca thinks Pelona doesn't love him back. The robber interrupts. Sonic and Eggman discover remnants of Shadow's life, who overpowers and feminizes Sonic. The lazy guy finds his eggs, while the thief who stole them finds him, the one who freed Shadow, and their attacker at the brothel. Eggman's grandfather, who will use the villain's father issues to his advantage, Sonic wakes up seeing a pair of eggs. The grandfather asks the black guy to steal the key to activate the Eclipse cannon, which Paragon designed while imprisoned. An attack from this can can destroy entire nations. They just need the other key kept at the G.U.N. base. Eggman says goodbye. Sonic asks Shadow not to let prostatitis change him, but it's too late. He leaves them a kidney stone for a little worm garden to eat before being absorbed. Knuckles bites a black cable to give Sonic time to use his ring, which bounces around until it creates a portal for their escape. Why do you think furries seem so stiff? Grandfather and grandson connect virtually, sharing typical family activities. Meanwhile, Agent Roca feels left out. The Sonic team heads home to plan how to get the key before the Egg team. Tom and Maddie will have to sneak in to insert a USB into the servers in order to disable the shield that could fry Sonic. Then, their only challenge will be avoiding lasers and entering a classified area with unknown dangers. The woman believes it would be easier if Sonic became a Super Saiyan. They promise not to use the Emerald again due to its great power. Everyone must go to London, where the Egg team has arrived. Shadow volunteers for the mission, but Geralt asks him to let him cook and puts him to watch soap operas with Agent Roca. Sonic is eager to join. Tom and Maddie wear camouflage and sneak into the base posing as G.U.N. agents. They insert Tails' USB, but Eggman and his grandfather also infiltrate the base with their own USB. Meanwhile, Tails finds his henchmen and throws the Elepencha at them to drown them. They arrive at the laser room with special suits, so the beams feel really intense. Now they can cross the hallway dancing tectonic pre-Hispanic dances and bachata, even rubbing pelvises. As they approach the vault, Sonic hurries up. Even though the shield is still active, he rushes through the streets of London and gains altitude to get inside. The hole is shrinking, so Tails pushes him to help him get in and catch up with the others. Ahead is the activation key. With their enemy behind, they rush but are told miners can't enter the area. Sonic mocks them, but he's also suspended due to the vault's security. Rockwell thinks everyone fell for his trap. Slackwatch is surprised that G.U.N. betrays him, and Eggman is surprised by the technology of the place. Geralt is surprised a woman is in charge. Their agents captured Team Furry. She plans to imprison them, but Sonic contacts Tails. With all his machismo, he attacks the base, destroys the system, causing gravity to go out of control, bodies go up and down. Eggman and Rockwell break through the ground to get the key. The debris is about to crush Sonic's family. Desperation gives him the strength to stop Tom from being crushed, squeezing so hard the place goes dark. Rockwell gets the key, so Tom suggests using Tails' transgender camouflage to impersonate Commander Walters. She doesn't know who he dedicated it to, but he asked her to hand over the key, all smooth. On the way back, he encounters Shadow, and seeing that face, pain, and memories make his prostate fracture. He grabs the key Tom dropped, which Prisas is searching for and finds on the ground. He runs to help Tom, but gets no response. Sonic doesn't want to lose another family member. In pain, he begs his father not to go. A moment and feeling that Shadow empathizes with. The Testicle Bros are freed by Shadow. Now with both keys, they arrive at the Eclipse cannon. But the grandfather knows they need to dress properly before the adventure. The autistic one gets so excited he gives his grandpa a big hug. Meanwhile, from a septic tank, Roca emerges and calls his sweetheart to warn her that her grandfather is planning something even darker than his henchmen. The doctor gets so upset that they mess with his old lady that he fires him mercilessly. They activate the weapon, which rises from a Veracruz street into the sky before everyone. Tom is taken to the hospital. Tails tries to comfort Sonic, but Sonic only wants to know where the guy hid the emerald. Revenge isn't in his oath, but Sonic says if he won't hand it over, he's gay. At his peak, he will pursue the black one. Eggman dominates news worldwide. They kidnapped a weapon now orbiting Earth, aiming from among the stars. Shadow questions if their next action aligns with Maria's wishes, while Gerald insists it's about what their killers deserve. He asks him to recall that night. The night they had to escape from G.U.N. since they wanted to separate them. Maria was the only family they both had, and in an instant she was taken from them. That bright star in their lives was gone. Now only Shadow's desire for revenge remains. He channels his anger to power the cannon they'll use to destroy everyone on the planet, themselves included. Because they've already lost everything, they have no family or anyone they love. But Eggman suggests that they put their heads together to take over the world because now they can be a family and love each other as one. But Gerald never felt anything for Robotnik since he's not Maria and he's autistic. They soon spot a yellow trail that pulls Shadow from the ship. Sonic warns him that for hurting his family, he'll now treat him the same way. The Peruvian tells him he has felt that pain for 50 years. They crash into Titicaca, where Shadow hits him from behind to knock the emeralds out of him with one blow. He recovers in time to grab it before Shadow and transform. Sombras also gets the privileges, but fails to attack him. The blonde guy punches him and throws him into a volcano. Shadow wants to continue, but Sonic enters holy mode, drags, and hits him. It's tough. They travel globally before the eggs because he doesn't want the planet he aims to control to become Peruvianized. He distracts his grandfather by saying the $10 bills are over there. He hits him to go sabotage his plan, but he didn't count on the old man's annual prosthetics, who will now punish him by making his little one less little. Eggman escapes and fights his grandfather, who leaves him hanging and about to fall. Without concern, his grandson throws him into space, though the old man didn't expect the furries to save him for reconciliation. The premium opossum battle is intense, but Sonic is knocked down and hears Shadow mocking him. Because a hero never abandons friends or lets his family be telephoned. Sonic gets so angry he channels his rage into a powerful punch, launching himself to the 3 and Atlas. Without the weapon's creator, they can't stop the Eclipse cannon from firing at Earth, where Tom is fighting for his life. Time is running out, and the accumulated pain and anger tempt Sonic to take his revenge. Shadow asks him to end his pain, indicating the same spot where Tom appreciated Sonic, his heart, unchanging despite the wounds. The things we've lived through don't have to define how we act. That's why he lets Shadow go. Shadow, who disagrees, asks why Sonic abandoned his revenge. Sonic just forgives him. In the solitude of space, he has time to look at the stars. The last time he did it, he was with her, the person he loved so much that when he lost her, darkness came into his heart. Sonic believes that our pain will never go away. All we have left is the light those people gave us, because light can still shine after the star is gone. With Geralt's strength heading toward them, Sonic suggests turning wounds into purpose, because in life's harsh journey, all we can do is live and learn. Both are strong in their own ways, and despite shared pain, head into battle with conviction and unstoppable will. That's what that person wanted, to see you keep moving forward despite what happened. That you use your talents even for those who hurt you. Maybe both of you lost the one you loved, but you fight for them and reflect the light they once gave. The cannon is about to fire. They finish the last enemies and hurry, since the cannon fires a direct attack at Earth that they barely stop. So they ask the rest of the team to divert the ship before their energy runs out. They succeed with difficulty, but the hedgehog collapses in front of the friends he left. They immediately risk their lives to save him, as the weapon's core will explode and irreversibly damage Earth. Eggman delays the explosion with his technology while Shadow steers the ship from the planet, and the villain starts his final transmission. If he can't conquer the Earth, at least he can save it because his only family is there. He apologizes to the henchmen he once underestimated, grateful he recognized what others missed. Both must say goodbye to their present and cherished memories. Because Shadow and Eggman sacrificed themselves to give the world a new chance for people to reconcile, keep loving, and never give up. This was Maria's true will, that the world could see Shadow as she saw him, a light in her life,